Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the February meeting of the Oak Hills Park Authority on February the 19th. First item, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Second item on the agenda is a roll call. As I call your name, if you'd just like to say here or raise your hand. So Alan Dutton is here. Denise Brown.
Here.
Gary Leeds.
Here.
Jeff Schweitzer.
Here.
Jennifer McAllister.
Here.
Thank you, Jennifer. And Richard Dellinger, all the way from sunny Florida.
Yeah, sunny Florida, nice and warm Florida too here.
Well, we do have a quorum. So the next item on the agenda is acceptance of the minutes. Could I have someone move to accept the minutes, please?
So moved.
Gary Leeds moved it. And a second, please?
Sure, second.
Second.
Does Jennifer McAllister second? So I looked through the minutes and I did not find any errors or omissions. Did any other council member see any errors or omissions in the minutes as shown?
I think Jim Holiday was the minute taker.
Jim Holiday was the minute taker.
Well, Jim Holiday did a great job.
He was the acting secretary.
He was the acting secretary. So there are no errors or omissions. So all those in favor of accepting the minutes as written, please say aye.
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 Yes, you
Aye. Any against?
Okay, so, I'm going to
Okay, the minutes are accepted as written. Thank you. Item number 4 on the agenda, public participation. James, is there anybody in the room waiting with their hand up? James, you're on mute. You're on mute.
I apologize, Alan. I'm talking to Mark. What can I do for you, sir?
Public participation. Public participation. Does anybody have their hand up in the room, in the waiting room?
No, sir.
Okay, public participation is now closed. That's item number 4. We now go to item number 5 on the agenda, which is the reports of the various committees. Under reports from the chair, mine is relatively brief, but I would like to announce that we have hired Nick Novak to be our golf professional at Oak Hills Park, and he will start on March 2nd. And we are currently in the process of working on an onboarding program to bring Nick on board. We had a search committee, and we had 9 candidates actually, and we eventually got it down to 2, and it was a very hard decision to make. But we have hired Nick Novak to be our golf professional starting on March 2nd. Nick joins us from Appowamis Club in Westchester, where he has been the 2nd golf professional there. We are very pleased to welcome Nick. We have announced it. Obviously, the people have been let know. The authority, obviously, the general public has been told about this, and I'm very pleased to announce that. I don't have anything else under the chair's report.
Yeah. Alan, can I just comment on that?
Yes.
I just want to say that and really commend all the people of the committee, and I think we should, I know you put it in your public announcement, but we really have to thank Steve Shepard and Jim Holiday for the efforts that they put in to keep the process moving, and their organization was outstanding. And I think we should make sure that it's noted in our minutes.
Gary, thank you for that. And you just reminded me where I was going to say this, and I should be saying it now rather than the executive meeting. So the search committee was made up of the following people: Gary Leeds, TJ Tramboli, and myself from the authority. We had Jim Holiday, general manager, We had Mark Gartner, who was our controller on the committee. We had Steve Shepard, who did an outstanding job marshaling and quarterbacking us through this whole process and did a fantastic job. We had Charlie Brennan, who was head of the Men's Association. We had Marianne Capiello, who had done this a couple of, at least one time before. And we had Christian DeAndrew to help us as well. And I'd like to personally thank all of them for the time. We spent a lot of time going over this. So thank you for reminding me about that, Gary. And thank you to the search committee for all their hard work during this time.
If I may, Alan, just
Please.
Gary, thank you very much for your kind words, but I've really got to deflect, quite honestly. Steve Shepard, as Alan pointed out, quarterbacked this, managed this project unbelievably well. So I deserve very little of the credit, if any. But it was a great experience for me, and everybody participated, and it was just a really outstanding 3 weeks that we spent together. So thank you very much. And Alan, I must also make a formal announcement. Mark and I have been unable to log into the executive session. This is something that Mark had an experience with before I joined the authority, and it has to do with our access or lack thereof to the complete Norwalk Zoom system. As you know, we log on to these Zoom accounts through the city of Norwalk, and they have directed both of us when we tried to log on to get a code from an email to which neither of us has access. So I just have to report that we will not have an executive session. Thankfully, there was not going to be a vote this evening. But Alan, you'll have to act accordingly.
No problem. Probably we'll have our executive session at the next meeting, basically, and I will disseminate to the authority members what I was going to basically say during the executive session via mail, probably, or via email. But as you say, there was no vote going to be taken in the executive session. Thank you. Under reports, item B is Restaurant John Lloyd. I'm not sure if I see John Lloyd here. In fact,
No, John sent an email to Jim and I. He's on vacation. He is unable to get in today.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. I do know that O'Dean's is open at the moment. I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In fact, I plan to go there Friday night with about 6 of my friends. So I'll give you a report at the meeting. Next item on the agenda is Nature Advisory, and Mary will not be with us, unfortunately, but she did mention a couple of things to me. The only news I have is the composting seminar is this Saturday at O'Dean's at 11 a.m.
Yep.
Everyone is invited to come and learn new skills. Also, we've submitted another grant for the food forest. That's about it for the Nature Committee. So if you'd like to learn to come on how to compost, it's a Saturday, this Saturday at 11 a.m. At Oak Hills Park. Mark, I don't know if you have any other comments at all. Anybody else about?
Yes, the nature trails are under snow.
Put your skis on, right?
I just saw someone parked on Monday and went out with his skis, and I said, "Is there enough snow?" He said, "We're gonna find out."
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Next item on the agenda, item D under reports, tennis. Denise.
Good evening, everybody. So actually, Alan, I'm not quite sure how much I should talk about our new tennis vendor. We do have a new tennis vendor who has completed his contract and submitted it to Oak Hills. I believe it's all signed and ready to go. Shall I, or should we wait for the executive session? I'm not
Well,
sure.
no, there's no discussion on the tennis contract. That's been all approved and done. We're good with that, Denise. Okay.
Okay.
So I think just if, you can say if you've been working with him and where we are like that.
So I've met with Arlen. I met with him a week ago, and it's Arlen Domini who's going to be running the tennis center starting in early April. He's got the courts commissioned with Oval Tennis to set up everything and start it. get everything ready by April 15th, which is really one of the earliest dates that we've ever had. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, that's always going to be weather permitting, but that's going to be about a whole month earlier than we have ever had in the past. And I do think that his relationship with Oval is very good. So I expect that to come through and be on time. You know, we're going to meet with him with the Friends next week. We're going to go over some of the things that we would like to see him help organize with us, as we've done in the past with Kings Highway. But basically, you know, we're just going to wait for everything to get up and get rolling. He did form a new company, so he is not Serves You Right anymore. He is AD Sports Enterprises now. So he is setting up a brand new registration program with his new company, and of course, all the banking and everything that goes with it. So he's in all that process right now. And working with him and John at O'Dean's to set up some pricing for the ladies teams. And basically just looking forward to, you know, move forward and work with him and work with the Friends of Tennis to get the programs up and running.
Thank you, Denise. Does anybody have any questions for Denise about tennis, new vendor? Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next item is supporters of Oak Hills Park. Jerry, I see Jerry is there in his basement or wherever he is. Jerry, what do you got?
Hi. The letters will be going out shortly, thanking people for their donations and allowing them to take the deductions on their income tax. So we'll let you know when they're all out.
Okay. Any questions for Jerry? Jerry, thank you for your continued help in these matters. We appreciate it. We really do. Item F on reports is long-term planning. Gary Leeds. Gary.
Okay, obviously, we've been very busy with the Pro Search, which I don't know, I guess you consider that part of long-range planning, but
we hope.
But I've communicated with both Jim Holliday and Jim Shell. They have Jim Holliday does have a report on the facilities. He hasn't had much time to get into that, but obviously the paving and the curbing on the property is one of the things that's out there. And also he mentioned the roof of the clubhouse is also at some point going to need to be repaired. And Jim Shell has been working with an individual to come up with the needs of the entire golf course, and that isn't ready yet. But Jim says that's getting close to being ready to be reviewed. So we will work on that. Now that we've signed the tennis contract, perhaps we can get back looking at tennis and see what direction that wants to go as well. And Mary always has great ideas. So I know she's got a list of things she'd like to do. So we'll try and start moving this forward a little quicker now. And we'll see how quickly that can move, but we're obviously not going to get it done in this fiscal year.
Okay. Any questions for Gary? Thank you, Gary. Item G is the golf professional. Obviously no report this month, but I'm pleased to say that I do believe that as of next month in March, we will have Nick Nowak will be on our agenda, and we will have a golf professionals report.
And he may be watching right now.
He may be watching right now. So, Nick, we will look forward to your report as we move into March. Item H is Superintendent Jim Shell. Jim.
Hey, everybody. My camera keeps cutting out on me. I don't know why. It's a new computer. It's been doing that the last couple meetings, but you really don't need to see me tonight anyway. I really don't have much to report. Things are pretty uneventful. We're doing, Christmas elf stuff. We're painting all the course supplies, ball washers, stakes, tee markers. And there's actually enough snow on the ground that I think I can start painting my office and finish that up before it melts. So, yeah, we did get our new rough mower a couple days ago. And unfortunately, in delivery, there were a couple things that were damaged, but they're going to be covered by the either the shipper, the shipping company, or the selling company. But
Jim, when you
looks nice.
When you say a couple of things damaged, is it workable right now?
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing to work it on. Obviously, we're not going to go out and cut the snow.
I just mean how was it bad, the damage? I didn't know about
No,
that.
nothing crazy. I mean, a tire and a rim got messed up,
Okay.
and one of the support brackets for a cutting unit was bent. And we went over the whole thing after we discovered those things, and otherwise, it looks great. So there's no problem there, and
Thanks.
we'll be ready to go so that the rough is a lot less penal this year.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
What's happening with the old machine, and are we able to get any claims or anything? Is Randy working on that, or what's going on?
I haven't heard a thing. I've asked about it a couple times. I still haven't heard anything. I'd be pretty surprised if we were able to get anything out of that, because I did meet with one of the executives from the manufacturer over the summer, and they won't budge an inch on that. And they did say that they would reimburse all the parts that we spent money on under the warranty. Nothing has happened. In fact, they won't even send us parts for a different brand of machine that they sell that we need. So I'm going through that as well. We ordered a part which isn't that hard to get back in June. We like to have a backup for this one particular part, and it hasn't been sent. And I'm pursuing changing our territory distributor to try and this is the distributor of the Lastec and the Baroness machines, and I'm going to try and get a different Baroness supplier. But we're in the territory of the one that we had bought them from originally. So, I mean, it's a big mess, but we'll figure it out. We'll get the parts eventually, and I don't know what could it possibly happen to.
So Jim, let me just ask you, is obviously the issue of the mower, but if we do business with them on any other issue and they've agreed to do something, which is send us parts or whatever it is, and if they're not doing that, we could send them a legal letter if they have something that they agreed upon. Is that in writing at all, or is that a verbal agreement?
As far as buying parts?
Well, you were saying that you'd asked for some other things and they hadn't sent them to you. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, there's two things at minimum that I should get. It's parts for another machine that's
Right.
not manufactured by Lastec, because they sell those also.
Right.
We're in the territory of this distributor. We're not
Okay.
allowed to buy from a different distributor.
Right.
And I also expect to get reimbursed for all the parts we bought that were under warranty, and I haven't heard a dang thing.
Okay. So I think on those two issues that you should reach out to Randy and let him know about that, because that seems to be a black and white thing that they are responsible for. And maybe, you could try one more time, and then if you don't hear back from them, then you would say, I'm going to take legal action, and then Randy could send them a letter, first shot across the bows.
Okay. I mean, does anybody even know if Randy sent a letter to Lastec in the first place? Because that was the original plan. I don't know if anybody's heard that. I haven't heard that. I asked him once. I haven't heard back.
Okay. I'll give him a call and find out. Okay. That's the last
Okay.
step. I'll call you and find out. Anyway, Jim, I'll get the information.
Sure.
See where we are. Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, any other questions for Jim from the authority members? Okay, thank you. Mark, item number I on the reports.
All right. Just my report is in the agenda, so I'm not going to go over everything. I'll just say that my second bullet point under general notes is that our old golf fleet is going to be taken and replaced with a new golf fleet in the upcoming months. It already happened. So that happened, I think, earlier this week. Jim Holiday will probably speak about it more, but just wanted to make a little correction there. And as for the financials, we were closed for play for the entire month of January. So there's not much to talk about. Thankfully, membership sales were decent. The real quick and dirty numbers are that the annual passes, which we limit to 50, we sold 48 of them by the end of January. And it was so. And last year they kind of they lagged a little bit. So it's better numbers than we did last year in both the quantity and the total value. But we were a little bit lighter in the discount ID cards. I think part of that is just because of the weather, the snow. People, only the diehards, the people who've been here for 30 years, they come by to talk to our golf pro shop attendants just to kind of shoot the breeze and stuff like that, and then they'll pick up their membership. So people do it online, but some of the old timers they like to come in and do it when they come in to play their first round. So I think we'll see, as in years past. It varies every year, but once we hit probably, well, I don't even know about March, as Jim said. So probably more like April, when people really start coming in for their first round, we'll see memberships kind of spike up again. And we have sold the full 50, actually I think technically 51 annual passes as of today. So we are good to go. It is locked down. We will not sell any more passes unless there is a extreme circumstance where we can discuss internally and decide if we'll allow that. And lastly, I'll just say that I'm a little impressed and I'm happy to say that overall cash balance being $95,000 higher than prior year. It's also up against budget as well, but being closed down for almost 2 months now with no play, and as you all know, we've had plenty of discussions on our CapEx, our capital improvement budget for this year is quite large, and we've already expended a lot of that cash as of now. So the fact that we're still above last year by 95,000 is a very good thing.
Well, we did save a couple of months worth of salary of the golf
We did.
professional, which obviously helps us out a bit, Mark.
Yeah.
Now, I believe for the month of month of January, did we miss budget by about 11,000 bottom line?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? So 11,000 is not the end of the world from a bottom line perspective for 1 month. And how much are we ahead of budget at the end of January, Mark?
I don't have the exact. Hold on, I think I do.
Just approximately, how much?
Yeah, our net operating income is still $184,000 higher than budget. So we've done a little poorly for December, January, and February when it comes to our revenue rounds being under budget. But those first several months of the year, we were well above budget, and those are the months that count.
Yep.
I'm all right with being under budget in January and being over budget in July, and that's how it was, and that's a very good thing. So we're still doing just fine.
Okay. Any questions for our controller, Mark Gartner?
Yeah, just a question, Mark. Maybe next month you could give a breakout of the unlimited between Norwalk residents and non-Norwalk residents. Yeah,
sure. Are you asking for annual passes?
No, the unlimited people, the 50.
That's annual passes.
Yeah,
okay.
annual package. Yeah,
yep.
Okay.
I could do that. Sure.
Yeah.
So you should keep in the back of our minds that now we're rapidly getting into budget season, because we have to approve the budget at the June meeting and present it probably at the May meeting, and so we're going to be working on it in March and April, I think. But budget season is going to be upon us before we know it.
It's knocking.
Any further questions for Mark? There being none, thank you, Mark. Item J is last but by no means least, our General Manager, Jim Holiday. Jim?
Thank you, Alan. Well, big picture, the HVAC system serving the dining room, there are 2 air handlers. They have now been replaced. So we have replaced 3 of our 4 heating and cooling systems, and that is really great news. We had a few bumps in the road following the installation. They weren't holding the temperatures. Of course, you all know what the temperature has been like for the past 3 weeks. We did determine that part of the problem had to do with pumps on the boiler. They will be replaced. They are relatively inexpensive items in the area of $5,000 each, but the bulk of the heating and cooling system is operating as it should. And we're very pleased about that. I've also been doing some renovation, basically some painting, quite a bit. Painted the lobby, the bathrooms, the pro shop, and also we are in the process of painting the entire old pro shop where Nick is going to be setting up camp. It's going to be far more than Nick's offices because he has already. I met with him a couple times over the past 2 days, and he's got some pretty grand ideas about turning the old pro shop into a legitimate teaching facility with simulators. And my old office, that little space, he intends to turn into a putting studio, which seems remarkable to me, but this is what he does. This is his specialty. And so it's very exciting. And I'm just getting the building ready for him to operate. Obviously spent a lot of time this past month, we've all discussed, on the head pro search. As Mark alluded to, our 70 new cars were delivered last week. And with the help of some of our golf staff and some of the crew from Club Car in Georgia, they've all been completely assembled and they are electrified and raring to go. Mark and I had a review on our insurance renewal yesterday. It appears at this point, although the numbers are not complete, they're complete enough to say we're looking at about a 5.5% increase in premiums, which it's not a big increase. There's a lot of fluctuations in the insurance business in general, and we are not displeased, nor is our agent, about that type of an increase. Mark and I are also going to be doing an audit of our utility bills for our 7 buildings that we have utility bills for, with an eye towards working with the city for an audit and potential eligibility for energy saving upgrades. You'll recall we put in all new LED lights a couple of years ago, and this is further to this plan of energy upgrades, and it could be pretty exciting. I've been reporting about a sag in our waste line that runs through the kitchen, and it's been a rather frustrating experience because I was supposed to meet with them yesterday, and some of the machinery that they were going to use failed. So that appointment's been bumped yet again to the 23rd. In my report, I did indicate to you that I have an alternative plan, which is essentially preventive maintenance, so that if we do not take on this project, because it's going to be very difficult to jackhammer the kitchen floor soon when they are, fully operating again. But we've got a backup plan if we are unable to move forward. And finally, Rich, through his involvement with the council, made us aware of the fact that they hope to vote on replacing signage for all 58 parks. And he sent me a fabulous package of all the options and what they're going to do. I believe funding is being voted on January 24th, but it's certainly a big hope of mine that we are able to jump in with that plan to have new signage for Oak Hills Park as well. And that concludes my report.
Yeah, and thanks very much, Jim. I noticed Robert joined us. He knows about those new signs, so he can speak better than I can.
Yeah, we had a study done a couple of years ago, and we got a grant, and so we did a design and we created a whole family of signs, and the colors and the dimensions. And so we're going to be actually putting in the first 32 to 40 signs. We're getting busy, ready to do that now and contracting that out. And then we have some money in the capital. We're going to try and get some more money in the capital to finish. But yeah, we would I think we can add. It's a park. So it needs the proper signage, and so I'll get with Ken tomorrow, and we'll figure out how we do that.
So let the minutes reflect that Robert Stowers did join the meeting at about 7:30. Robert, thank you for joining us. Any other questions for Jim Holliday and his report?
Jim, I have a question. Oh, you have a question, Alan?
Go ahead, Denise. Ladies first.
Thank you. So you put in the new system for the restaurant for the air conditioning and the heating. One of the complaints that I always got from people who had gone to the restaurant was that it was always cold in there. And I was never sure if that was just the way they were keeping the temperature or if that was a heating problem. Is this something that will change now, or is this the way they just keep their restaurant on the cool side?
Well, that's a great question, Denise. It's a number of factors. One of them was certainly the new air handlers that we have installed. It is toasty in there. Of course, it feels like it's been, tropical the past few days, but it's really 68 is really comfortable in there. However, I did mention the pumps on the boiler, and they are about moving the air. And so if the air isn't moving as much as it should be in an HVAC system, it's not going to be as effective. And the third factor is those windows. We spent, actually, it wasn't an enormous amount of money. The windows are old. They're Andersen windows. They're good windows, but they're 20 years old. And for buildings, that's a long time. So we put in new seals, but glass has no insulating quality. In the winter, when the temperatures are brutal, don't sit by the windows. We have used auxiliary heaters, but the bottom line, Denise, is that it's a much warmer room now after the new HVAC system has been installed.
Okay, that's great to hear. That's good.
I was in there for a meeting last Wednesday, Denise, and I agree. It's been cold, and it was a world of difference. It was closed, but the temperature difference was noticeable.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Jim, I see you mentioned that our new golf professional has all types of great ideas for what we're going to do down in the old pro shop. I look forward for these ideas surfacing up to the authorities so we can take a look at them. That would be great. And just in case Nick is listening in at this moment in time. Any other questions for Jim?
Alan, let me just jump in, if I may, quickly. He has due to his teaching background, he has a very strong relationship with TaylorMade and also with individuals who have built simulated facilities. He's also done it himself. So he's got tremendous backup for executing his plans, but I'll make sure that he knows that the authority is very anxious to see those plans.
So Jim, I assume that's where his office is going to be also in the.
I'm sorry. Yes, he's going to be in the old pro shop. He's going to be in the office that was occupied by Tom Sacco.
Okay.
And then his assistant is going to be in the room where the outside staff punched in with their time clock, and there was a lot of supplies. It's a small room, but he said his assistant's going to be he's going to be fine working out of that facility. And then the main room is the real exciting room where it'll be a teaching facility.
Okay, great.
So Jim, where are you going to go?
Oh, I've moved up to join Mark in the administrative wing. I took over Paul's old
Where
office.
Paul
So
was.
you took Paul's office.
When you come to see Mark, you can stop by and see me as well.
Okay, very nice.
We're the new bosom buddies.
Yes.
I think that's probably a lot better of a relationship there.
We get along fine.
Any other
Thank you.
questions for Jim? Okay, that is the end of our reports. Next item on the agenda is item number 6, which is old business. Does any authority member have any old business to bring before us tonight? Okay, next item of the agenda is new business. And under new business, we have a nominating committee. And here I will defer to my venerable vice chairman, Mr. Richard Dellinger. Richard, if you'd like to comment on this nominating committee, if please.
Well, I talked a little bit because I saw it on the tentative agenda, and so I had a conversation with, and I wasn't sure about the timing. There has been some changes with the city council's charter, in that now the change has been that anybody that has been nominated by the mayor needs to be forwarded to the city council 2 weeks before they're appointed, so that the city council has a 2-week window of basically vetting any appointments like the mayor does. So I was just thinking of the timing of this. So I went into City Hall, talked to Zuma Roundtree, who posts all the openings. The openings, I think there'll be 3 coming up. Technically, Alan's one. Denise, I think technically is another, and the third is, I think, Jennifer. So I asked Zuma, they're not posted as openings yet. She was not sure when she's going to officially post the openings for Oak Hills Park, but she told me that they're accepting applications. There's no applications in for the authority, which I think are the terms end for those 3 on the 24th or 5th of June. And she's would be interested in having us kind of promote the idea of, or suggest to some to submit their applications. It's not too early. I was a little reluctant to ask people to submit now, because there's still a couple of months till this all should happen. And in terms of the nominating committee, I think we're a little bit, the way the council works is that we wait till the new council's in place before we go into selecting the chairperson, vice chair, treasurer. And it seemed like the more appropriate model to use for the authority too. So I'm suggesting that we first try to think about people that would be interested in the authority positions, encourage them to apply, even though it's not posted technically. They could put their application in. There's a link in the bottom of the website for the city boards and commissions, and there's a drop-down menu. People can apply for any of the authority positions. The authority positions, there are some restrictions. I think the authority has to have at least 2 non-Democrats. So right now, I think we have 2 or 3 that are non-Democrats, but there is a proportion that the state by statute has to be maintained. So even if there's some good candidates, sometimes the party affiliation it actually will trump that because there needs to be that ratio. I think that's it. So I think we're a little premature. I think we could. I think the nominating committee can wait a few more months. I think the focus should be to try to see if we can get some applicants into the city for the vacancies that will occur in June.
So, Rich, one thing I would say about the vacancies that occur in June is that when I went onto the boards and commissions, Oak Hills Park was not listed, and I don't think anybody can apply at this moment in time because there's no vacancy.
They can apply.
Okay, because one of the candidates that was interested went on there and he didn't see any vacancies.
It's not listed as I had that conversation with Zuma, and
yeah.
She's not sure when she's going to put the openings up.
Okay.
But when you click on that link, there's a drop-down menu, and yes, she will accept any applications that come in right now.
Okay, that's good. That's good, because I just got one comment from one possible candidate to the effect that
she basically started Yeah, she has this binder for all the boards and commissions that she'll put
Yep.
any application that comes in. You need a resume when you submit it,
Sure.
along with some other some other information. Yeah.
Can we consider putting something on both the Oak Hills site, and does the tennis have its own site? And maybe put something on that site as well?
You can send it out with Tennis Friends, clearly, and I think the idea of sending something out about encouraging people to that the fact that it exists, that I'm not sure what the best timing is. I'm thinking probably March. I'm thinking the way this kind of works, I suspect the council would approve the people in June to make, or by June, and that the mayor will have to submit the names to the council by sometime in May. And so that if you back it up, then clearly March and April would be the time to try to get people to apply.
I'm kind of confused by the whole process. Does the mayor recommend people, or is the council? I mean, how does this work?
So the applications go to Zuma Roundtree. She submits them to the mayor.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
The mayor vets them. The mayor recommends to the council 2 weeks before, with a 2-week window before the council approves.
And that's in June when the council approves, or before June?
Well, it's not on the agenda. It's not for me to, but our terms end June 24th. So I'm assuming the council would be approving the new appointee sometime in June, so that there's continuity going into July.
Well, we got 3 openings. It would be really good if we could put something on the Oak Hills site.
I agree.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I really hope, I think we should be very transparent in that the openings exist. Put the link how to apply, even a disclaimer, even though they may not be listed, you can apply. The openings, it will be basically for the July meeting. I think the last meeting for the current members would be June.
So it seems to me those people have to be in the mayor's hand by the beginning of June at the latest, in order for.
No, I think even before that. That's why I'm saying I think they have to be in the mayor's hand by probably early May. So the mayor has some time to vet, and then the mayor will submit them to council. Council gets them again 2 weeks before they would vote on them. So you almost have a month window there.
Well,
so
we only have about 75 days before that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's time to start recruiting people. Yeah.
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 Alan, I don't know, maybe you can talk to Jim and see how we can get something on the websites.
Sure.
So
I mean,
I'd say not just the website. I think sending out a little email blast. If we could do something, I'll be happy to help.
Okay.
With writing it. I think something that goes out that's even more practical, because people don't really go to the website right now. They're not booking things, but I think an email that would go out would be appropriate too.
Okay, well, maybe did the email where we announced Nick, what was the size of that listing, Jim? Do you know?
I think that was on a list of about 5,000 people, Gary.
So maybe we can use that.
I think that's a very good idea. And Rich, I would love to work with you on this next week or the week after. That's great. Thank you.
I think if we get it out, honestly, even into March, beginning of March, that'll be enough time.
Sure.
Go ahead, Alan.
Denise, fine. Please go.
So, I mean, Rich, I know that this is probably nothing that you actually probably know about yet, or it's always been like a very mysterious process of the applications and who's applying and who's selected and what is the criteria that they're selected by. Because, I mean, it would be nice for the authority members as we stand now to kind of see what maybe I don't know how this would work, but like what are we looking for to replace the people who are leaving? And if there's there anything that we're looking for, are we looking for somebody with a financial background, with insurance related issues, with sports golfers, tennis players? It's just like, I don't understand really how the mayor chooses a person for a board that they don't participate in, and it's just so mysterious on how somebody gets selected.
I agree with you, and it'd really be nice if we have a golfer, a tennis player, and a nature person.
Yeah, we can
ended up.
talk about that in terms of what we want to put in the blurb in terms of encouraging peoples with certain backgrounds, be it finance or golf or tennis, whatever. Right now we have 2 tennis players, and we have Mary, who's a nature center. So we're kind of covered well there. I think we could use, a golfer, a strong golfer or 2, personally. So,
well, Denise is going to go off, so we are going to have, fewer tennis players, right? I don't know. Jeff, are you a tennis player? I forget.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we at least got 2 tennis players on the board.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking the golf is honestly a little bit more of a higher priority right now. We're pretty well covered. I would love to see someone active in the men's or women's association be on the authority or apply to be on the authority. Again, how the mayor decides, I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
I know.
I know you wouldn't know. It's just a mystery on.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know on what basis in the past this has been done, even for myself. So I don't know. So exactly how.
I mean, we do have a new mayor, so I'm not entirely sure our mayor has figured that out yet.
No, but she's been on the council for 8 years, so she has quite a bit of experience working with the previous mayors.
Yeah, no. I'm sure she's capable, but just in terms of kind of how she's going to think about this and
she may change,
and view the applications. I'm not sure this sort of that part of her role probably not necessarily super high priority for her at the moment.
I may talk to some of my colleagues and see if maybe there might even be a retired club manager around in this part of the world. Who knows?
Yeah.
The current one, when he steps down, it might be nice to replace someone with a similar knowledge. Who the heck knows?
Yeah.
We'll take a look and see.
It would be very
interesting. Hey, Robert, is anything you can do to talk to the mayor at all?
Well, I think, and I can do that because I do have meetings with the chief of staff and the mayor. But maybe along with that, something comes from the board that says, this is kind of what we're looking for, and I think she's open to, the board functioning in a way that is going to be the most effective. And then I think the other choices, just like I think any other executive, they're going to pick someone that, they're either sure about or, or they get recommendations for somebody else. But, but I think a note from the board would go a long way about what we need.
Okay.
But I will talk to him as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Do any other authority member have any other comments to make about the Rich? Thanks for the presentation. I think it's good, especially to get ahead of the game. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out of something like this. Where we do, we have to be a little careful, obviously, as well. But I kind of look forward to the process. Any other questions under the nominating committee and the new business? Okay. Next item was going to be an executive session, but unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we will not be able to do that. Hopefully, this will be the last time that this will happen to us. So we will table the executive session, and I will contact authority members with what I was going to talk about. It was a contract issue, basically, and I will send in the mail something to them about the contract issue. under the executive session. There would be no vote taken at the executive session. Next item on the agenda is adjournment. Item number 9. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Do I have a proposer?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Rich Dellinger. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Denise Brown, second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Oh,
Anybody?
just a point of reference before you, Alan, did we take a vote in the minutes? I just realized, I was thinking about this. I don't remember us taking a vote on the minutes.
We did.
We did.
We
Did we?
did.
Thanks. Oh,
We
good.
did. You
All
may
right.
not have heard it, but we did take a vote.
Thank you.
Hopefully you said aye as well.
Hopefully.
So all those in favor, did I hear aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We could keep going longer if we wish to. Only kidding. We are now adjourned. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Night.
night. Thank
Thank
you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.